exquisite headlights.
Becoming the most successful BMW of all time. Right, what's good everybody? Welcome to The Ride with Under. It's a brand new YouTube channel all about cars and lifestyle. My name is DJ Under. I'll be your guys' host. Listen, if it's your first time here, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit that bell notification. Of course, please pass this on to your homies, all right? So today, we're having a look at the all-new BMW 3 Series, which is what is sitting right over here. Now, before we get into that, for those of you that have no idea of the heritage of this particular brand, allow me then to take you back. The BMW 3 Series was first introduced in 1977, and this was in fact a sedan model. BMW introduced a first in the motor industry, which was a dashboard that faced the driver, a feature that has become standard in all their vehicles since then. In 1982, the second generation 3 Series was introduced, and this one was the game changer because you could get the 2-door, 4-door cabriolet and the M3 Touring. Things got serious. I mean, who could ever forget Itembela Mahumusha, Ikusheshe. So iconic, in fact, that BMW in 2020 are releasing a special edition of this particular model. The third generation then came in 1990, ushering in a new decade. It also has the widest range of body styles, which was the coupe, the touring, the convertible, the sedan, the compact, and the M3, which you could get in sedan, coupe, and convertible. This shape lasted a staggering 7 years. The fourth generation then in 1997, though, is where things got really interesting. The rise of it Dolphin, as it was known by mostly black people, really. This shape proved to be the most successful yet for BMW, selling 3.3 million units, becoming the most successful BMW of all time. At the Geneva Motor Show in March of 2005, BMW unveiled the fifth generation of the 3 Series, which just 1 year later was awarded the title of World Car of the Year. 2011 saw the introduction of the sixth generation of the iconic 3 Series. The design was an evolution of its predecessor, being more strongly aligned with that of the larger 5 Series. One striking detail was the headlamps now connecting to the kidney grille. At the same time, the sixth generation also evolved in terms of its size, with the launch of a longer Gran Turismo version. This new version added a coupe roof profile to the sedan and featured a longer wheelbase to add to that. The benefit, especially for passengers in the back, was greater legroom. So then, 8 years later, we find this, the all-new BMW 3 Series. They call this baby the G20. So the BMW 3 Series comes with 5 petrol engines and 2 diesel engines. On the petrol side, which is the 318i, which is a 2-liter, 4-cylinder, 115 kilowatt engine, giving you 240 Newton meters of torque. The 320i will give you 135 kilowatts and of course a 300 Newton meters of torque. It's also a 2-liter twin power engine with 4 cylinders. The 330i is a 2-liter, also a 4-cylinder engine, but that gives you a nice 190 kilowatts. The M340i is a 3-liter, 6-cylinder engine, and that gives you a massive 285 kilowatts and 500 Newton meters of torque. And of course, the recently launched M3, which we'll talk about in the next episodes. On the diesel side, though, which is what we have over here, you get 2 diesel engines. The 320d, which is what this is, which is a 2-liter, 4-cylinder engine, and it gives you 140 kilowatts and 400 Newton meters of torque. And the 330d, which is my personal favorite, will give you 195 kilowatts and 580 Newton meters of torque. But today, we're having a look at the 320d, which is the 140 kilowatt engine and the 400 Newton meters of torque. So the car we're having a look at today is the BMW 320d M Sport. And it comes with a whole bunch of different things. Firstly, it comes with different set of tires over here, big 19-inch alloys. It will come with a little M badge, the little side skirt over here, drop suspension, the M suspension. It will also come with the M Sport steering wheel, the M Sport seats, which makes the car more sporty and more aggressive. But perhaps the biggest talking point in the new BMW 3 Series has got to be this bigger grille. And what I like about this grille is that it's got little flaps inside that actually open up, kind of like gills on a fish. So when you drive, air comes in here and actually cools down the engine. It's quite nice. And of course, this being a family saloon, you have to look at practicality. And this car comes with a bigger boot than the previous 3 Series. In fact, this vehicle has 480 liters of boot space. That's enough to fit a whole cow. Of course, inside here, it's all very practical. Underneath here, you've got your little 12-volt socket over here. You've got little hooks that you can use to hook stuff in. And of course, if you wanted to pull down the seats, you can do it from inside. You can just lift the flap over here and on the other side, and the seats will fold down inside. Quite nice. Okay, so at the back, it's all very, very comfortable here as well. You would expect seats from the back to be different in terms of comfort from the one in the front. I've got this at my driving position, and I've got quite a bit of knee room over here. I've got quite a nice headspace over here. It feels very, very comfortable. The only thing I don't like about being in the back is sitting in this middle part over here, because you've got this big compartment over here that could distract you. For instance, if I come sit here now, see, it's not so comfortable now because my knees are here and I'm hitting the roof. Yes, I am a little bit tall. I'm 176, but it's not very comfortable for someone sitting in the middle. But then that's why I'm gonna sit right over here. At the back, it's still very, very comfortable. It's still very premium, still very luxurious. You've got your 2 USB Type-C charging points. You've also got a 12-volt socket, and you've also got climate control over here for the guys at the back. You've also got these 2 cargo nets at the back, so you can put all kinds of documents and things here, and it's quite sturdy as well. So we spoke about practicality, and of course you've got your ISOFIX fittings over here for those of you that have kids. Of course, you've got your seat belt around here as well. So all very safe, all very comfortable. In the middle, you've got your cup holders for the guys at the back. It's all very nice inside here. Very nice BMW. Okay, so inside, BMW have gone for a more slick, stylish design that feels very, very premium and is full of amazing tech. The iDrive system for me is my favorite in this particular car. Now you get 2 different kinds of iDrive systems. You get the BMW Live Cockpit Professional and you get the normal BMW Live Cockpit. This here is fitted with the Professional, which is the more advanced of the 2. I simply like the way that you can personalize this to whatever you want. You don't really have to bother about conforming to what BMW want you to do. You can really set it up like almost like a cell phone. You can really make it your own. Earlier on, I spoke about how the cockpit kind of faces the driver when you're actually driving the vehicle. This is something that they took in the 1977 first edition of the BMW 3 Series, and they've continued with that throughout, and here it's very, very evident indeed. And you can see how the cockpit faces you and it makes everything easy for you to access. We spoke about that, and we spoke about how BMW is all about the driver, and they've done this fantastically well with this particular vehicle. And of course, this being an M Sport, it's fitted with the M Sport steering wheel. You can see a little badge over there. I love the way this car feels. I like the way the steering wheel feels. I love the materials. And of course, on the steering wheel, you've got your steering wheel controls, your cruise control on the left hand side, and of course your volume and other functions that you can use on the left hand side. It really feels good. It feels good to be sitting here. And speaking about the seats are actually quite comfortable. You would think that, you know, you walk into a sports car or a car with a sports suspension, the seats wouldn't be all that comfortable. You would think that they'll be hard, and you know, you walk out here and you need to take a trip to the chiropractor. This is not the case. I've been sitting in this car now for quite some time, and I've been driving this car now for about 3 months, and every single time I drive into this car, I absolutely love being here. The seats really hug you in, and of course you can adjust them, and you can make the seats hug you even more by pressing a few buttons on the side. It really feels good. This particular model is fitted with BMW's gesture control system, or if you don't want to use gesture control, you can just use the dial at the bottom here or the one that's on the steering wheel. So the car does come with dual climate control, so that means that my passenger can have his or her own temperature and I can have my own temperature on this side. What we will share though is the fan speed, which is just the one control over there. I like the fact that BMW have kept the hotkeys option over here, which is really, really useful, especially if you try to navigate through different functions of the iDrive without taking your eyes off the road. So I know for a fact that I can have my navigation on one, I will have my media controls on two, and so on and so on. I don't have to keep on going back to this part of the car, which means I'm taking my attention away from the road. I can just do that by pressing a button and it goes to that function. Absolutely like the fact that you can do that. So underneath here you'll find the wireless charging pad, you'll find the two cup holders, you'll also find a USB port. Now the wireless charging pad does actually work. I've got a phone here, which I'm going to show you. Just slide it in there, off you go, close that up, and because my phone is connected to the iDrive system, I don't need to touch it. If I need to make a call or receive a call, I can just do it by either using the hand gestures or the controls on the steering wheel. There is absolutely no need for me to touch my phone. If I want to play music, I can do voice commands, or I can go to the iDrive system and select my Spotify or Breezer or any other app that I use for music, and I'll be able to play music. So there's no need for anybody to touch their phone while they're in the car. So now your phone's getting charged. Life is good. Now I must admit, when I first walked into this car and I wanted to drive it, I was looking for the start button all over, because the F30 has got the start button up over here, but now they've moved it to down here, so that's where it is. And they've still kept the 3 driver experience modes, which is Sport, Comfort and Eco Pro. They still have the electric park brake, which is quite cool, and of course you still got your swivel button here. What's interesting also, you've also got a little touchpad over here, so when you're writing information from there, you can just use the touchpad. It's a bit tricky though, but we can figure out how to use that. And looking at the speedo, the instrument cluster over here, it looks very, very simple, very basic. In the middle, you've got your permanent navigation that's displayed over here, and then on the side here is all your media controls, which you can just change by just doing that. See, now I'm changing the radio dials. Of course, if you're playing music, you can also change your music by doing that over there. The rev counter in this car goes from the bottom up, so it goes kind of like that way. Not quite sure I'm convinced by that, but some people like it. They think it's some sort of a gimmick, which is quite cool. On this side though, you've got your speed obviously on that side, and then you can have different dials that you can have there, different options. So for instance, you can change information over there by pressing the little stalk button. Let's see your mileage, see the kilowatts and your torque and your little G-force meters over there, which is quite cool. I've got it set on kilometers and miles per hour. Don't know why I'm doing miles per hour, just always like to know, but that's something that you can do. Then on the side here you've got your petrol gauge, and it also tells you how many kilometers you've got in your tank. Quite nifty. What they could have done though is made this a little bit more exciting. It's still very dull, it's still very dark, and they've kept the orange. I would have liked them to add a little bit more color, but it's very functional. What I like about it, at night it doesn't really distract you. It's really subtle when you drive. So I suppose there's pros and cons, but overall, I think it's quite nice. So we spoke about the graphics of this particular car, and one that I absolutely enjoy is the picture quality and the camera quality of this particular car. If you ever look at how crystal clear this one is, in fact, I think I can see myself there. Also, what I personally enjoy in this vehicle is the BMW personal assistant function, which comes with the latest technology, or the latest iDrive, should I say. So you can command it to do various things in the vehicle. All you have to say is just, hey BMW, or hey sexy.
Hello, what can I help you with?
Turn the temperature to 19 degrees.
I set the temperature in the front seat passengers area on 16 degrees Celsius.
I said 19, but it's fine. But you see what you can do. So then, all this talk about BMW's sheer driving pleasure, I think I need to experience this. So, here we go. Now I know earlier on we spoke about the suspension of this particular car, and because it's M Sport, you'll probably expect it to be hard on the road. I'm driving on this road right now, and I must say it feels really, really comfortable. Yes, it's not super soft, but it's not as hard as I perhaps thought it would be. I really like the feel of this vehicle. I really like the feel of the material and the quality of the material that they used in this particular car. Everything is just rigid, everything is solid, everything really feels well made, everything is where it needs to be. It's really easy to navigate everything that is on here. It's really a very well balanced, well made car. I really do appreciate this. I really do. Of course, this is an urban area, so I'm not going to be speeding around here like I'm on a racetrack. But what I will try though is the various driving experience modes, which is Sport, Comfort, which is what I'm driving on right now, and Eco Pro. So let's quickly do that. The road is a little bit bumpy. I do apologize for that. Let's have a look. So I'm going to put the car on Sport mode right now and check suspension. Car's on Sport mode. Feels good. Of course, you can adjust your steering wheel. You can bring it a little bit closer. Lock it in place. Fantastic driving position. I like this car. I really do like it. The thing about BMW though is, when you talk about BMW drivers and you talk about BMW owners, they all tell you one thing about BMW. It's all about the drive. Sheer driving pleasure, joy. It is all about the drive. And they couldn't be more right, because the drive in this car is absolutely fantastic. It feels really good to drive this car, like anything I've driven before. And of course, if you're looking for a nice, comfortable family sedan, and you're looking for a German sedan, or should I say a premium sedan, you would look at possibly a Mercedes-Benz C-Class, you would look at an Audi A4, possibly you would look at a Jaguar, and of course you look at a BMW, and you probably look at a Volvo as well. But for me, out of all those, funny enough, I was a big Audi fan. In fact, my first car in 2007 was an Audi A4 1.8T. It was a B7. Absolutely loved that car. I thought it was the best car in the world. I really did. It was up until I drove a BMW 330d M Sport in 2013 that everything changed. Everything changed. I just didn't understand how a car could feel so balanced, how a car could feel so poised, yet could be so sporty and comfortable at the same time. It gave me everything that I wanted. It gave me good performance. It also gave me good fuel consumption. It gave me great technology. It really made sense. And that from that day, I just wanted to drive BMW all the time. I really did. Going up here. This is epic. Oh man. I tell you what, I never got the same amount of joy when I was driving my Audi. I have to be honest. For my Audi, it felt like I was just driving for the sake of getting from point A to point B, to be honest. This is getting from point A to point B and some sort of style, some sort of purpose. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Now, I must point out the new A4 is coming out shortly, and I think it has to be really something special to be better than this. What I can tell you about Mercedes-Benz, although it'll be very comfortable and very well made, as any Mercedes is, it's not going to give you the same amount of joy and pleasure than what this is giving me. I can almost guarantee that. But I can't wait to review it though. I'm going to be reviewing that very soon, so look out for that one. So, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about price. How much is this particular car? Well, I hope you're sitting down, because this car, as it is, with this specification, is 842,000 rand. Yeah, 842,000 142,000 rand. But you know what though? Hang on. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to guess what the equivalent current Mercedes-Benz C-Class costs. Are you ready? Have a guess. Nope. Wanna try again? Nope. If you want a Mercedes-Benz in the exact same specification, you are looking at 958,000 rand. 958,000 rand. And you know what? I've got proof of that because I actually configured a car online, and that's exactly what it costs. That's a lot of money. So, the BMW 3 Series then. Sporty, stylish, full of great technology, comfortable, and great on the road. But is it a car that you should buy? I know it's a car that I'm gonna buy. I think you should definitely consider it. Guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification. Please drop a comment for us so we know exactly how you feel and recommend any cars that you want us to have a look at next. The Rider Under, my name is DJ Under. Peace.